Web3 is rewriting the rules. Technology, finance, freedom. So we're sitting down with some of the builders in the space to get their take on where things are heading.
I think the rise of all of these AI companies is a fantastic time for people to start figuring out, how do I not become just a part of someone's model?
You don't have to sacrifice security for convenience anymore.
Your privacy matters more than you think it does.
The way that we interact with crypto is changing in real time. And this is the NOWeffect by ChangeNOW. Feel the power of now. Hey everyone, I'm Ornella Hernandez, and today we're going to talk to Tika Lum, who is the head of global business development at the exchange KuCoin. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm great. Enjoying ECC?
Yeah, it's good. Actually, it's my first time here to Canada. I couldn't make it last year. Generally speaking, like, it's wonderful. The weather is perfect, and then
Yes.
the people are really nice here, and the food is good as well. Yeah, everything's fine.
Yes, this is an amazing location for a
Yeah.
conference, I have to say. So I want to talk to you more about the conversations that you've been having so far this year, maybe how they differ from past years, past cycles, past events. I know that there's been a more maybe institutional focus at a lot of the panels. So tell me a bit more about what you're hearing.
So I think like everyone also aware, like everyone is saying that we are now in the bear market of crypto. So, and during bear markets, what we have to do is keep building an infrastructure, not just in this edition of FCC, like in the past few months in different conferences all over the world, we are seeing a lot of the overall narrative of the conferences and conversations are like moving into more like institutional and more infrastructure focused.
Yes.
So also for this time, FCC, we have been seeing a lot of conversation happening surrounding more on like the tokenizations, RWAs, how you like migrate TradFi assets on chain, and then how you build an infrastructure that's getting the crypto environment and ecosystem ready to embrace the money and from the traditional finance world.
Okay,
So,
let's
yeah.
get into that a little bit more because I know
Sure.
that KuCoin has incorporated RWA-backed collateral features into the platform. So talk to me a bit more about some examples of that, please.
Sure. So KuCoin is actually being one of the earliest exchanges that are and moving forward into the RWA space. So what we have been doing is that we rolled out a program last year called the RWA Collateral Mirroring Solutions. We like make it like abbreviation is RCMS.
Okay.
So this RCMS, the whole idea is to provide a bridge solutions for institution players and also VIP clients to leverage their traditional assets as a trading collateral.
Like what?
For example, like money market funds, so which are like regarded as a super safe, and a relatively like low barrier and low entry point for people to tap into the crypto field. So what we have been doing is that a client or maybe users, they can like custodize their money market fund token with a third-party custodian, where we through a mirroring solutions that the token itself never leave the custodian, but we will provide a mirroring credit on their KuCoin account for trading purpose.
And what is the main advantages?
So you can imagine this, let's say for money market funds, like no matter like what who are the like back-end issuers, like mainly we are now talking about a 3% to 4% yield. So which means that if you hold a money market fund, which is a tokenized version of it, a tokenized money market fund, organically you'll be like earning around 4% yield. And at the same time, you collateralize that token, you'll be receiving a loan on KuCoin, and your ultimate return will be whatever alpha you trade on the platform on top plus the 4% of yield. So it's actually a lot of trading teams are using it as a yield enhancing like strategy. And in the other way around, it's actually for a lot of like traditional finance player. For example, they are not that used to with crypto. They might be not that confident and comfortable in crypto.
Right.
So, but they are really familiar with all those gigantic asset management names, for example, like UBS. They are comfortable with them. So what from their
They've just been around longer, I guess.
yeah, that's true. But at this point, so they will be like subscribing a product from, let's say, UBS, a money market fund token launched by UBS. So they are
Oh.
only holding the UBS money market fund token and putting them in a third-party custodian and getting a loan, mirrored loan, on KuCoin for trading.
Okay. So how have all of these core infrastructure changes on the platform affected maybe the trader's day-to-day experience on it?
I would say, in general speaking, it's really positive. So because in the past few years, I would say, or maybe back to the earlier cycles, like cryptos are really more retail driven. We gotta face it. So with a more retail driven environment, what people looking at is just, okay, how many tokens are there on the platform? So how's the trading volume itself? Like how many X is it? How many multiples are we like going to earn on a specific token?
Right.
So this is
Numbers going up mindset.
this is all people like only focusing on, and we also in by the end of last cycle we are talking a lot on a lot of meme coins as well.
Yes.
So but nowadays I would say when we are looking into more institutional focus, because everyone agrees that like since 2024 the overall like crypto bull market starts beginning from all those gigantic asset managers like launching the ETFs from Bitcoin, Ethereum. So all these asset managers and traditional finance players, they are looking into not just for the ultimate alphas. They don't do super degen things. They are looking into more secure, safe, and a compliant way to tap into the crypto field. So that's why like in the past few, I would say 6 months to a year time, KuCoin and other like industry peers, what we have been doing is building an infrastructure that is fully ready for this type of institutional clients to tap in, not just on the trading engines, not just on the upgrading our like API services, but also to in a really compliance framework, an AML framework that can meet to the traditional finance standards.
Okay, that makes sense. And do you personally think that this is a good thing? Like, do you think that maybe the crypto industry has become too dependent on all these macro factors?
I would say that in general speaking, like the market is evolving. Back to the old days, like cryptos, I mean, even today, the overall crypto market cap is still very small compared to the traditional market.
True.
Not to mention like FX, commodities, but just compared to stock markets, we are still very minimal.
Yeah.
And myself actually have a traditional finance background. So I moved from like investment banking to crypto. So I do think like crypto, there are a lot more opportunities, but however, there are still a lot more works to do in order to make crypto become more well recognized and more like and more adaptable in the daily use case.
Yeah, for sure. And so in that search to make things more adaptable for users, how do you strike a balance between staying early on, making all of these upgrades like we mentioned before, and also prioritizing the user?
Yeah, I think so like KuCoin, a little bit history. So like KuCoin actually we started in 2017. So we are always we are quite reputable, and we are always known as the best to go venues to looking for the next gem. So because back in the old days, we have a really we released new tokens very fast.
Yes.
So this is how like people know about us. But with the time being, we started to become taking more balance between like very speedy listing process and also making sure that we are listing the quality tokens. So as of today, we got around like 1,300 trading pairs, still making us one of the like most preferred like marketplace to trade different kind of tokens. But at the same time, we do not go for like, okay, we don't list everything nowadays. So you don't. So we are taking a more like
discerning approach,
a little bit conservative approach. But I would say in order that we have to do really solid due diligence on each tokens. So we'll have a really long not really long process, but a diligent process to make sure that we understand the project itself, the token itself, the white paper itself. So in order to balance, because we don't want our venue to become a pump and dump place.
No one wants that. And nowadays, like you said, you have to be a lot more cautious, I think, when it comes to projects who just might be fraudulent.
Yep.
So given that, what would be 3 pieces of advice that you would give a new KuCoin user?
So first of all, I mean, not just for the KuCoin users, but also like in general,
crypto users.
all crypto users. So control your margin position. I mean, like you gotta. I mean, like risk control is much more important than everything else. Like because cryptos is really volatile market. So a lot of with all the volatility, if you don't do like risk control, you lose all your capital, lose all your cap funding. Is actually, it will be very difficult for you to get it back to regain everything. So I think like risk control is all, if you are a trader, if you are amateur in crypto, so risk control is always the top priority. The second thing is, in the near future, I would say those projects that are being more popular or more phenomenal might not be those like user apps, you might not see them in your daily lives, but they are actually embedded in your daily lives. So we are talking about like payment rails, we are talking about like on and off ramp solutions.
Right.
So these are the infrastructure that I believe is the next future in the coming crypto cycle.
So risk control and looking into infrastructure projects more.
Yes, correct.
All right. And if you could describe the crypto industry in one word or one phrase for 2026, what would you say?
I would say 2026 is really the convergence year of like traditional finance and the crypto industry. So a lot of people back in like 5 years ago, they don't believe in crypto. They don't think like BTC is a thing. But nowadays, a lot of TradFi people, they want to tap into the market because they're seeing that, like, at least for BTC, is already being a really solid asset class. And not just to hedge the risk too, and also there are also like different correlations from the traditional asset classes as well. Market is so volatile, I would say in this market, so for those TradFi players, they are looking for alternative assets. Crypto is now being one of them, one considered.
Right, a way to diversify your portfolio, basically.
Correct, exactly. So at the same time, like a lot of like new projects, new startups in the crypto world, in the Web3 world, they are more getting into the eyes of the traditional players, let's say from family offices, asset allocators, VCs funds. So I think like in general speaking, like crypto is still in the future, but like instead of like, let's say crypto, like it replacing the traditional finance, but I would say we are like merging together and we are getting to there. Yeah.
Convergence.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. If you could describe ChangeNOW to a builder using one phrase, what would you say?
ChangeNOW is a trusted partner. So for KuCoin and ChangeNOW, we have been working together for a couple years already. So ChangeNOW is a really like reliable, trustworthy platform for a lot of users doing like on-chain like swapping and a lot of like trading as well. So I think like so we are very happy and we are very pleased to work with ChangeNOW very closely, and we are looking forward to like maintain the long-term relationship and build the ecosystem together.
Great. And last thing, what is the best way for someone to reach out to you, Tika, or to contact KuCoin?
Oh yeah, so like I can be easily searched on like X, YouTube, or LinkedIn as well. So my name is Tika Lum. So you can find me, like my Telegram is Tika Lum like _ like KuCoin, and like welcome any kind of like collaborations, and like feel free to DM me and we can explore more opportunities together.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much for your time today, Tika.
Thank you, Lana.
And everyone, you heard him, DM him, message him on his socials, and make sure to stay tuned for more interviews.